If you guys want the fastest way to improve your aim, get some Control Freaks for cheap. Use code GOBLIN for 10% off and improve your aim today. Link in the description. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the VOLKSSTRURMGEWEHR, which basically everyone's just calling it the VOLK. I'm going to call it the VOLK also because that's, you know, even though the VOLK is like a laser gun that we had in Infinite Warfare, this is basically the VOLKSSTRURMGEWEHR. So I'm just going to call it the VOLK. That's what everyone's been calling it. This weapon was added last week with the update to Call of Duty World War II, and this weapon is absolutely deadly. The amount of damage it does with a fast fire rate just makes it one that can compete with the top weapons. It actually was in my top 5 guns video that I made yesterday. You guys should all check that out. It was an updated top 5 guns. Drop a like on this video if you guys could. I would really appreciate that if we could go for 62 likes. That would be amazing if we could hit that like goal. If you guys could all smash a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Now this gameplay, this is actually a heroic variant of this VOLK, and I was playing on a subscriber's account. He was nice enough to let me go on his account because of course I don't have the heroic variant of this gun, and it does change the iron sights, this heroic variant, making it a lot better with the iron sights, making you not have to run a red dot. But the thing about this gun is it literally has very little recoil. If you don't have grip, it will have a tiny bit of vertical recoil to it. If you add grip, it's practically a laser, and the amount of fire rate that it shoots at and high damage that it does, it definitely makes the contender for best gun in this game right now. And a lot of different people have been talking about this, so that's what I wanted to talk about. Now the first thing is, how do you get this weapon? Now there's multiple ways. The first way would be by opening it through a resistant supply drop, but that requires a amount of luck, or you know, earning a bunch of supply drops, buying supply drops, something like that. The second way would be to buy it straight up through the collections, although I wouldn't recommend doing that unless you have a super high amount of armory credits, or you really want this fast firing assault rifle, which, you know, it's one that everyone should want. But 25,000 armory credits is absolutely ridiculous, and that's the price it costs. However, for, if you've opened some resistant supply drops before, then maybe you have some tiers unlocked, and maybe it'll only end up costing you 14,000 or 16,000. Then it probably would be worth it. But the way that I recommend getting this weapon is through Major Howard. You have to check back every single day under his special orders and basically wait until the special order is to unlock this VOLKSSTRURMGEWEHR. When it is that, go ahead and sign up for that special order. And one key thing about that is you don't have just the amount of time that it shows to complete. That's the amount of time you have to sign up. Once you're signed up, you're good, and you just have to, you know, complete it over time. You have pretty much forever, I think, to complete that one. You can get it done in a quarterly fashion or whatever you want to do and get this weapon. Now, the strengths of this weapons are the fire rate, the lack of recoil. The downside of this weapon, the iron sights aren't the best even on this variant. Other downsides of this weapon are that it has quite a bit of muzzle flash. I would say that would be sort of a downside to it. But other than that, there's not too many downsides to this gun. It's a fast firing laser gun, and one that is, if you can get good and it takes some time. Actually in this gameplay, I just completely forgot to mention, I got a V2 rocket in this gameplay just by playing. I don't know if that was a spoiler alert or whatever, but I wasn't even going for a V2 rocket. I was just using this gun, and I was able to get a V2 rocket. So let's talk about a class setup for this gun, because I think that a class setup is key. This is a gun that you can do pretty much good with any sort of class setups, but having a great class setup can make this thing exceptional. Now the class setup that I rock with this one, and this variant is the heroic, the GOAT 2. Of course, if you don't have a heroic, you have to deal with the normal iron sights, which are probably, they're squared a little bit more than this one's circular, but I still think they are decent. This is the class setup that I give. This will work with pretty much any variant. Of course, the better variant that you have with the better iron sights will be better. But division, it's straight up there. I'm running infantry. I think that's pretty obvious. I don't think there's much space with the division, especially with like them adding that 6th division and it being based around pistol only players with the resistance division. I don't really know how I feel about that one. I thought it was kind of a waste when they could have added a division that was more useful across all tiers of weapons. Infantry is your go-to with assault rifles, 100%. That's what I'm rocking. Next is, of course, going to be the weapon with the 3 attachments, because infantry gives you that extra attachment. First attachment on this gun is going to be the grip. Now, the thing about the grip is it is optional, because I did some testing in the firing range. Without grip, you do have very little recoil still, but it is a bit of a vertical bounce. However, I just choose to put on the grip just so I didn't have to deal with any recoil at all, and I knew in my mind every shot, if there's going to be recoil is not an issue I have to deal with, and it makes it a straight up a laser gun. Now, if you don't like the iron sights, grip would be the one I recommend swapping out here. This is one that you could swap out, and right here on the screen you can actually see people using the regular iron sights of the gun. That's what they look like without a variant, but you can definitely swap out grip and throw on a lens sight or a red dot with a different, reflex sight with a different reticle, whatever you want. That would be the place to do it. As far as my next attachment I have here, next attachment is going to be the extended mags. Now, extended mags are a great attachment on this gun because it does have 30 bullets to begin with, so 45 with extended mags. However, the fact is that the fire rate is so fast. 45 bullets is a lot less than you think it is when you're shooting at this rapid of a fire. You can see here I kill one person and I'm already down to 32. So I mean, with 45 bullets, you're basically really good. You don't have to worry about reloading too much. However, the reload time on this gun is super fast anyway. This gun is going to be nerfed, I'm going to guess, because it probably is the best gun right now. Like, this thing is absolutely ridiculous, and it definitely is a top 3 gun. I think that's pretty much undeniable. Next attachment here, I was experimenting with some different ones, but for my third attachment, the one that I like to rock and the one that I think does the most work would be advanced rifling. That is a class up that I like to go with this gun. Advanced rifling, grip, extended mags makes this gun an absolute machine, and that's 100% the perfect attachment because you don't have to worry about recoil. Only thing is that muzzle flash, and at range with that advanced rifling, you can melt people. Up close, at range, this gun does not have too many weaknesses. As far as the rest of the class setup, basic training I choose to run is Hunker. I still think that Hunker is even better now after the new updates, because now with Hunker, you're basically immune to grenades. Well, not immune, but you won't die to them. So I would say invincible, I guess. You get hit by a grenade, and you have to regen your health. And the health regen buffs that came through made health regen about 2 seconds faster at its longest point. So back before this update, if you were hit and you were down to 10 HP, we'd say, so you have 100 HP in Call of Duty, if you're down to 10 HP, it would take you 8 seconds from not getting shot at to revive back to 100 HP. Now it would take you around 6 seconds or somewhere around those. These are just, rough numbers, but it's a pretty big buff to the health regen, which means that having Hunker on, getting hit by a grenade, all you have to do is stand still, or not stand still, but just not get shot at, not getting any engagements for 6 seconds, bada bing, bada boom, you're good to go. Plus, Hunker, it just works overall so good, and I think that they need to do something about this, because this is the main issue I would say with the game right now, with the balance, is that the Hunker is the best basic training in most situations, especially in objective game modes, because of the fact that every person has at least 1 grenade. Some people have 2 on their class setups, or at least 1 frag grenade or something like that. Well, some people, I guess they could have like some sort of a stun or a smoke, but that's very rare. Most people, not everyone, has at least 1, sometimes 2 grenades, and people are chucking them at the objectives. And without Hunker, you're going to get hit by people, random grenades. You're going to, I remember one time I was like 1 or 2 kills off of getting a V2 rocket, and I was playing on the map Flak Tower, and actually a grenade just randomly got bounced off of one of the buildings. I think he was trying to throw it in that top window on Flak Tower. He missed, bounced it off the building towards the middle area, blew me up because I didn't have Hunker on that class setup. So to prevent things like that from happening, I definitely 100% recommend sticking with Hunker. As far as the rest of the class setup, it's pretty straightforward. For a pistol, I'm just stuck. I haven't really, paid attention to which pistols are actually the best in every single situation. As far as I'm concerned, the machine pistol is still really great, and the fact is you're not going to be using it very much. Only if you're out of ammo and the enemies are too far away to knife. That's the only time you're going to have to pull out the machine pistol, and usually does fine. I always run extended mags with that. Without extended mags, you only have 10 bullets, I believe it is, which is not enough unless the enemies are already weak. 15 bullets, though, with extended mags is definitely nice, and I find that a machine pistol just works well. Most of the time, you're going to be cleaning up kills that are already weak, and especially when you have infantry and the machine pistol together, the ability you have to strafe while using that machine pistol makes it really hard for the enemies to hit you and makes it a very deadly class. As far as the grenade, I just run it with a straight up Semtex grenade. That's what I like to run with, that's what I stick with my class setup. But I definitely recommend, if you guys can get your hands hands on this weapon, or if you guys ever see this weapon on the ground, just because it has a unique and sort of a weird name. This is not a weapon to be, you know, joked about. This is a great gun in the game. I've seen a lot of people in the comments predicting this gun will get nerfed, and honestly, I have to agree with that. Everyone is using this gun right now, everyone who has it unlocked, and I'm sure as more people are unlocking it and figuring out how good this gun actually is, it's just going to continue to be played with more and more until probably an eventual nerf would come through for this weapon. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. A pretty nice V2 Rocket gameplay. If you guys made it to the end, be sure to smack that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, sub for a cookie, and don't looky, and that's about it, guys, and I'm out. Peace.